Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jaelah Majette, mama, wife, YouTuber, bad bitch, etc, etc. Was that too much? I'm sorry. Recently I posted on my Instagram, y'all can follow me right here. I posted a mommy Q&A. I wanted you to hear what you guys wanted to ask me. Jackson is 1.5, like 19 months or something like that. I don't know, girl. So yeah, I just want to come up here and do a mommy Q&A for you guys so we could just kind of talk, you know what I'm saying, let y'all mamas know that y'all not going crazy and y'all not the only ones out here that's be dealing with this stuff, because babies are crazy, having kids is ghetto. I haven't looked at these questions. Okay, so the first question is, how do you get things done having a baby and ADHD? All right, so here's the thing, like with ADHD, you don't get anything done, and with having a baby, you don't get anything done. So when you combine those two, you're not getting shit done. Okay, like your life is on pause. The only advice I have for people who have ADHD is to get medicated, get help. You'll be surprised how much of a better you can be. Once I realized my potential on my medication, getting off of it made me feel like shit about myself, which was, it's not a good thing, but like, I mean, I'm always gonna have my medication. And that's what I thought until I started breastfeeding and I couldn't take my medication. That kind of sent me into like this downward spiral of like anxiety and depression. You know, the cycle that you get with ADHD. That's all, that stuff is kind of linked. I waited until Jackson was a year until I medicated myself again, just because of my own personal reason. But now I feel like he needed shit. I mean, it's safe, okay? The pediatrician always said it was okay, but just me personally, I didn't want to do it. So a couple tips to help you. If you have ADHD and you have a baby, make a list. A list is really going to help you. It's going to track how much you got done. You're going to be able to pace yourself. You can still take your naps with your baby. When your baby gets up, just wear your baby and do what you got to do. Like I used to wear like the Moby wraps or the Boba wraps, and that made doing things a lot easier. I don't know, first time moms, you don't want to put your baby down, you don't want to hear them crying, you know what I'm saying? I messed this one up, but you know what I'm saying, I think we all messed our first one up. Wear that baby and get what you got to get done. Pace yourself, sis. Literally take it day by day, okay? Don't try to plan out the whole week. That's just gonna cause anxiety. Day by day, okay? Addressing people babysitting your child and doing things that you don't like without cussing they ass out. Girl, like I never had this. I never had this because nobody ever babysat Jack that didn't respect my wishes. But that's the thing, I didn't allow people to babysit my baby that didn't respect my parenting style. Like if you believe in cry it out and I don't, you're not watching my child. Like we're just not gonna do that. But I don't know how to do it without cussing their ass out, because I'm gonna cuss you out because this is my child, not yours. So to answer your question, I have no answer to your question. How do you manage to have patience with your son when you are depressed or anxious? This is a hard one. Let's say something that how do I say this? So I have to be careful to not overload my patience meter. So I have a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I have a couple of people in my life that require a lot of patience. And if I know that I'm going to be with my baby all day, or if I know I'm already having a rough day, or I'm a little bit irritable, I will completely avoid them. I will not talk to them because I have to save all that patience for Jax. Jax is rough. Like nursing a 19-month-old is like, I don't know, he can't sit still and nurse. Like he want to stand up, he want to do cartwheels, he want to flip, he want to dig his nails in my nipple. He did not used to twiddle, and now he twiddles. Jax does require a lot of patience, but oftentimes I ask my husband, or just communicate with your partner, and you know, say, you know, I am having a really rough time today, or you know, especially the anxiety part, if I have too much on my plate, because a lot of times I won't tell Miles, hey, I have this sponsorship due, I gotta do this video, I gotta edit this, you know, this, I gotta do this. I won't tell him that. So we'll make like a shared note on our phones, and I'll tell him, hey babe, I'm having a really rough day, I'm overwhelmed, is there any way you can, you know what I'm saying, help me out with these things that I need to do? Most of the time he'll knock out like a load of laundry or the dishes, and it'll just relieve such a big pressure off of me. I just try to get the people around you to help you. And the people that are going to hurt you, keep them away from you. If you are having one of those days, you know, some days are better than others. Some things you wish someone would have told you about being a first-time mom. That is a good question, because I don't know. Like every baby's different. Every experience is different. The only thing, no, I don't know. I don't really wish anybody would have told me anything. There's nothing that really blindsided me other than the fact that my son was going to climb onto everything. I didn't know that. He turned into a mountain goat. How'd you find out or know that you were pregnant? I don't know if I ever told this story, but my best friend called me and told me that she was pregnant. She was in Japan and they had got orders here. So they were on their way here. She called me and told me she was pregnant. And I was so excited to her. I'm like, yes, oh my gosh, we're having a baby. Where's my period at? I went and I bought tests without telling Miles. I took them in the bathroom. I cried. I didn't even notice I was pregnant until my best friend was pregnant. We had our babies 2 days apart. So that's when I noticed I was pregnant. Another red flag was I had really tender boobs. I tried to eat a banana one time and it was literally disgusting. Like I wanted to throw the banana up. It was so nasty. I feel like if you think you're pregnant, just go to Dollar Tree and get you a pregnancy test. You ain't gotta go crazy like me, you know what I'm saying? I had clear blue, you know what I'm saying? Every test you could think of, pregnant, not pregnant, yes sis, it's a baby, everything on the screen, I had all of those because I just couldn't believe my eyes. I was just in disbelief, okay? But the Dollar Tree ones are just fine. And those are the ones that I use now whenever my period is like a day late and I just be like, okay, what's going on? I use those. Does it get easier with trying to get things done with baby Jax? I have a 4-month-old and I'm still trying to get the hang of it till my anxiety takes over and I get nothing done. Having like anxiety and depression and ADHD, because that's what it sounds like you have. I'm not a doctor or anything, but you get so caught up in your own brain and it's just a really vicious cycle that can really take a toll on your mental health. So like I said, you can make the list, you can try to do that, but honestly, just you being a better you know, it's gonna help you and your baby. They get easier once they get older, but right now when they're so small, just the anxiety, you know, of them being small, every little you know, every little cough, you know, you think they're choking, or every little, you know, hiccup, you know, it's just the anxiety. It's gonna be bad right now, but it will get better. It will get better. How have things been going from being a wife to being a wife and mother, you know, after getting a taste of single mother life? I feel like being a solo parent, I would say, made me appreciate Mouse even more, but it definitely showed me my strengths and my weaknesses. It showed me what I could do and what I couldn't do it, because when you don't have no options, sis, you ain't got no choice but to do it. I think that that experience made me a better wife because it made me a lot less codependent on my husband, which in turn gave him, you know, a sense of freedom. As moms, we don't have a sense of freedom. We don't have no freedom because we slaves to our babies. But you know what I'm saying, husbands, they struggle with that. Men, I would say, they struggle with that freedom thing because, you know, they not psychologically tied to their baby, you know what I mean? We got that, you know what I'm saying? You and your baby got that, you know, y'all right here, you know. So I felt like that made our relationship a lot better actually, because Miles actually has time to do things that Miles wants to do. And when I need a break, I can be like, hey babe, you know what I'm saying? I need to do this, I need to do X, Y, and Z, and it's just so much better now. How to spend quality time with spouse and child without neglecting one of the other. Let's say we don't have sex for like a couple of days, we make it up in one session and then I'm out of commission for like a week anyway because we went too far, you know what I mean? Like me and Miles like to play with Jax together, so I don't really think you, as long as y'all are spending like family time, you know what I mean, you won't neglect neither one. When you first found out about Jax, did you feel that you were ready or were you really nervous? When I first found out about my baby, something just clicked. Something happened. I don't know what it was. Holy shit, it's a baby inside of me and I'm its mama. And I started thinking about like if he would like dinosaurs or cars, or you know, who he would look like, or if it was a he or a she or something, and I instantly grew attached to my baby. Instantly. I knew I was ready to be a mama. I knew I was ready. I knew it would be hard and challenging because it's already hard and challenging to be me because my brain is just wired differently. But I knew I was so ready. I was so ready. I was like, I'm gonna be such a good mom. I already knew what I wanted to do for my baby. I already knew the type of life I wanted to have for my baby. I knew I was gonna be a good mama. I was also really nervous though. Yeah, I was. How did you know you were ready to be a mom? I didn't know I was ready. Jax wasn't like planned. But when you read that stick and that shit say pregnant, I don't know what type of feeling it is. Maybe y'all can help me in the comments who've had kids. But like, you just feel like it's almost primal. It's like, wow, I have to protect this thing. Like, this is mine. Like, it's such a primal, possessive, like wild feeling that you get, and those instincts just kick in and you just know what you're doing. It's weird. You don't know what you're doing, but you know what you're doing. I'm due in June and labor and delivery is kind of freaking me out. Any advice on staying calm? You have to release those negative images, negative thoughts, scenarios that are associated with childbirth and labor, because the media puts that stuff in our head. Like, you don't know it, but that's why you freaked out, because everybody's always so ready to tell their horror stories. You tell yourself, I'm gonna kill this shit, and you're gonna kill it, okay? If you educate yourself, of course you can educate yourself, and then if your baby do what your baby want to do, you know what I'm saying, you can't help that. But if you educate yourself enough to kind of like help your baby, meet your baby halfway, you know what I'm saying? Don't just have a plan, but know the backstory. You know what I'm saying? How can I meet my body halfway? How can I meet my baby halfway? What do I want? What is a desirable birth plan? You know, go in with the plan, talk with the doula, and I feel like positive affirmations, watching positive birth stories, really it's gonna help you out. You know, don't freak yourself out too much. Don't think about it. Just keep telling yourself like, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? You really don't have no other choice, so you have to tell yourself that you're gonna do this, because the baby can't stay in there. Okay, I gotta come back and finish this. Okay, so I am so sorry if there's a light difference. I had to go pick up Jax. Okay, so I'm 23 and I'm getting married in 6 months. We have 2 kids together, and I'm the only one in crew that's even in a relationship. What advice do you have? I have different groups of friends. So I have mommy friends, I got club friends, I got friends that just smoke weed and drink and go to school. I have entrepreneur friends, YouTube friends, social media friends. I have a bunch of different friend groups that I can do a bunch of different things with. Some of those things you can't mesh with. The odds of me and my best friend having a babysitter on the same night to go out to the club, probably not gonna happen. Like, slim to none. The odds of me having a babysitter and my friends with no kids having a babysitter, it's looking like it's gonna work. How do you regain your self-esteem, confidence after becoming a mom? I feel like you have to start like admiring yourself a little bit more, and like realizing how powerful you are and how beautiful you are, and just like how much strength you have. You have to like really tap into that to get back to where you want to be mentally when it comes to like self-esteem. Also, you know what I'm saying, some hair, some makeup, some lashes, that never hurts. Also, if you're struggling with like body images, sis, fake it till you make it. Like, this is probably really bad advice, because people like, oh, be comfortable in your body. I know what it feels like to be uncomfortable in your body, okay? I've had 7 different body types my adult life, and I know what it feels like to be uncomfortable. So for somebody to just say be comfortable in your own skin, that's a lot easier said than done. That being said, girdles, breast tape, nice bras, all of that stuff, they have those until you can, I'm saying, get to where you want to be. Or you just get lipo. Good tips for military wives when hubby is away. If you don't have any kids, throw a party. If you have kids, cry. That's the only tips I have for you. How would you go about weaning a breastfed baby off? My son is, I don't know, I'm so ready to stop. When you figure that out, you come back and you tell me, because if I knew, my son wouldn't still be breastfed, okay? Okay. How do you get him to stay still enough to braid his hair? I don't. That's why Jackson has been rocking this ponytail. The ponytail is the quickest, you know what I'm saying? I hit the whoop, 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 whoop around the sides, and then I put that, and then I use the little scrunchie, the little swirly, plastic swirly scrunchies on him, because I feel like those work better, and they don't leave an impression on his hair, and they don't get tangled. He don't sit still long enough for me to braid his hair. I have to do it when he falls asleep. Nursing Jax beyond 1. To be honest with you, when they turn 1, it doesn't even feel like, you know what I'm saying, like, they're 1, you know, like when you have a baby that's formula fed, it's like, okay, you're 1, here's your cow milk, here's your almond milk, here is your oat milk, pea milk, you know, it's like, okay, this is different, you know, I don't have to buy formula anymore. When you are breastfeeding, there's no monumental change. Same baby, same titty, same milk, same crackhead behavior, same thing. The teeth don't bother me. It's only when he tries to like do too much. So like he'll be nursing, and then someone come on TV and he'll go, and then he'll like yank my nipple with it, and that really is not fun. How do you mentally prepare yourself for labor, birth? PS, I'm due any day. Okay, I hope that you had your baby safe, and I hope that everything went well. I hope that you and your baby are healthy and well. For anybody who's not about to give birth any day now, because she probably already gave birth, congratulations, sis. Mentally, tips to mentally prepare yourself for labor and birth. You just gotta tell yourself that you're gonna do it. Don't psych yourself out too much, like, oh, this is gonna hurt, you know what I'm saying? Focus on your breathing, practice breathing. Positive affirmations really help. Even if you like do sticky notes and put them on the wall, just telling yourself every day, you know, I was made for this, I'm built for this, I can do this. If you are having a hospital birth, I don't really think that's much you have to do other than like calming your nerves and staying calm. There's a lot of lights, there's a lot of noise and bells and jingles and, you know, stuff going off. There's a lot of nurses, paperwork, people asking you questions, bothering you. Just try to focus inward at home and kind of block out everything else, and that will, I feel like, help you a lot when you go into labor. Another thing is, a lot of it is mental. Like, I feel like labor is completely mental. Don't fight it. Like, just let your body do what it is gonna do. Appreciate your body for what it's doing. Change your mind. You gotta change your mindset about it. I encourage everybody that's pregnant to take a hypnobirthing class, because the whole class is not only teach you how to hypnotize yourself during birth and labor, it teaches you a different mindset, okay? Like, so instead of saying contractions, you're gonna say pressure waves. If you think of those contractions as pressure waves, it's like, okay, it's going in, it's coming out. You are learning to appreciate your body for what it's doing versus being mad at it because it hurts. You say, wow, my body's really doing this. I'm gonna meet my baby. Like, it's helping me meet my baby. My body is amazing, you know? I just feel like you have to kind of like appreciate yourself versus like fight it, you know? Oh, no question, I just love y'all. We love you too, baby. Breastfeeding with teeth, how? I don't understand if everybody's babies are just biting them, but you know, like, you can feel when babies like unlatch. So, okay, so the nipple's right here and their tongue sit underneath the nipple like that. So the row of teeth that's right here is blocked by a tongue. And if you can immediately feel when the baby does that, like because it feels like air on your nipple. But I don't have any problems with breastfeeding my baby with teeth. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't have like, he's not a biter, you know what I mean? Like, he only bites when like my bra's in the way and he's trying to like pull it and that shit hurt. But I just move my bra away so he doesn't have to try to do it himself. Is Jackson sleeping in his bed without crying for you or Miles? Jackson still wakes up in the middle of the night to nurse. He will sleep in his bed, but he will wake up during the middle of the night. He doesn't cry for like me or Miles, you know, he just cries because like, well, I want my pacifier, which is me, and then I go in there and give it to him and then go back to my bed. I just want to say you're killing the mommy game. Proud of you, baby. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. You know how they say things nothing's supposed to ever go up there. Have you ever used Noni Pearls? Thoughts? I have never used Noni Pearls or any of that, but I wouldn't be totally against it. I wouldn't be against it. And I put stuff up there too. I put evening primrose tablets in there, like a lot of them when I was pregnant. How do you manage to keep your sanity with a toddler? I have a 13-month-old and it's a struggle, sis. No, absolutely, it's a struggle. I'm telling you, we're all going crazy, sis. It's not you. Does that make you feel better? Does that make you feel more sane that you're not the only insane one? Because it's all of us. You're not party of one. You're party of all. No, really. Since Jackson's been in daycare, I kind of felt guilty for putting him in daycare because I'm just one of those mamas. I feel like my baby's supposed to be with me, but he cannot be with me forever. So I had to let go. And to be honest with you, I don't know what to do with myself during the day. And because he's not with me during the day, when he comes home, I miss him so much. And it's like, okay, what are we doing? You know, like, let's go do this. It's so much, like, it's just different. Sis, I don't have no advice for you. Only I just feel like you know what I'm saying, I put my baby in daycare so he can get social skills. That's what I did, and I feel more sane. I mean, just saying. Finances as a military spouse, how to make extra money while a stay-at-home mom? That's a good question, because I find a lot of military spouses have trouble making money as a stay-at-home mom, because a lot of military spouses are stay-at-home moms. Not only are you staying at home, but you've kind of sacrificed your life, your career, your development for your husband's and your family's development, like following your husband all over the place so you can't keep a job for more than 3 years, or staying home with your baby so your whole life is consumed with just being a mom. And not being able to just, you know, further your education or go to work or do whatever, you know. I am very like crafty. I do a lot of stuff with my hands. I also worked as a server when I was just like a quote unquote like regular military spouse. And I also worked at the CDC, although I do not recommend working at the CDC, okay? 1 out of 10 stars. I do not recommend working at the CDC. If you like kids, go ahead, but that's where I discovered I don't like. You could do like, if you know how to do anything with your hands, like selling anything. I know a lot of military moms do like those little like wooden things with the cricket and, you know, those like vinyl things. So like, that's what, you know what I'm saying, things. I really, the only thing I can tell is like people like start photography. They kind of start their own little like thing. How has becoming a mom changed you? Confidence, money, etc. I have grown tremendously in so many ways. I still spend money like the shit growing trees, but I am a lot more confident in myself. I feel a lot more grown, you know. I feel just like, I don't know, like I feel like my life has so much substance now because my baby's here. It's hard for me to figure out what my life was like without my baby. Kind of like learned a sense of time, a sense of urgency. I learned that time is valuable, time is fast, it goes so fast. Like, if I didn't have a baby now, like I wouldn't have known how fast time goes, and I probably would have wasted a lot more of it. Are you and I still using the pull-out method for birth control? Yes, it worked for us for a long time. So I don't personally believe in putting birth control in my body. My periods, since I've had Jax, don't hurt anymore, and I don't want to mess that up. So I'm not getting birth control, you know, my hormones and stuff like that. So no, I was already on like a mood stabilizer, so I don't need nothing else messing with my hormones. Me and Miles pull out every single time. I don't know what's wrong with y'all that be letting y'all husband just bust loads in y'all every night. It don't be worth it to me. Like, granted, you know what I'm saying, yeah, it's good, it's great, okay, but like if Miles ever personally busted me, like I would probably get up and square up with him. And if I told him to do that, if I told him to do that in me, he would probably get up and square up with me, because that's the type, that's the terms that we on, you know what I'm saying. We're just careful. Would you have another natural birth? I would not have a baby any other way. Do you ever get bored, stir crazy being a stay-at-home mom? Yes, being a stay-at-home mom sometimes will drive you crazy. It's like a never-ending constant cycle of just shit, just stuff that needs to be done. You do the dishes, more dishes just grow. You do the laundry, more laundry. Like, it just grow. Like, everything is just never ending, and you don't really even have time for yourself. By the time you get up, cook breakfast, you know what I'm saying, you feed yourself, you get y'all together, it's time for the baby's nap. Like, unless you have like a real good schedule, being a stay-at-home mom is probably the hardest things I think I've ever done. I wouldn't call myself a stay-at-home mom now because Jackson goes to daycare. How do you deal with mental health as a black woman, mother, and a wife? I just deal with it. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't give a fuck. Do you hear me? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what anybody has to say about me or think about me or think about my mental health, because who are you? Nobody. So I just deal with mental health head on. I'm real with myself. I try to self-reflect a lot so I can see my patterns, you know what I'm saying, either if they were like childhood patterns or like stuff that I've done before, because you're never gonna get the different results doing the same thing. I'm just really unapologetic about it. Like, I just don't care. When you release that, you can just deal with your problems. You don't have to tell everybody like me. I tell everybody everything because I can't keep my mouth shut. Just deal with them head on. Don't be ashamed. Would you try for another baby? No. And next time you ask me that, I'm calling the police. Advice on breastfeeding for first-time moms, pumps, accessories needed. I think I'm going to do a separate video for this, but my number one advice for this is to educate yourself. There's so much misinformation around breastfed babies and breastfeeding because it hasn't really been a thing for a long time in our community. A lot of times in the black community, it's been that nasty nipple, that baby need a bottle, feed that baby some formula, here goes some cabbage, dry that milk up. Nobody really knows how to breastfeed. To be honest with you, if Jax didn't automatically latch, I wouldn't have known who to go to in my family to teach me how to. It's not really like oh, black women don't want to breastfeed. Sometimes like black women can't breastfeed, you know, like our situations, you know, like systematic stuff, you know, you get what I'm saying. But just educate yourself, because one wrong piece of information can sabotage your whole journey, and it will leave you like devastated, because you'll be like, I was doing so good and now I listen to this and now I have nothing. Any regrets on co-sleeping with Jackson, and will you co-sleep when or if a new baby? I do not regret co-sleeping with Jackson. We still co-sleep with him. I don't regret it. Co-sleeping when he was a baby made me feel so much more comfortable. I could not sleep when he was away from me. Like, I was like, is he breathing? Is he breathing? You know what I'm saying? And if we had another baby, I would definitely co-sleep. I would just kick them out at like 7 or 8 months, because that's around the time where I noticed Jackson didn't really notice where he was falling asleep. Like, he would fall asleep like 7 or 8 months. He was like, okay, I'm falling asleep right here. Okay, I'm falling asleep right here. Once he turned 8 months, he was like, okay, I'm falling asleep right here with my mama. My phone's over here. Like, he would be reaching for me. And I'm like, oh no, man, now he know I'm here. How do you keep from getting frustrated with your child? You just gotta learn patience. First of all, like, growing up, I had a lot of siblings, and my mom was in nursing school, and sometimes she would lose her patience, and I just like use that, and I just, you know, say I don't want to make my baby feel that way. Even like the smallest thing, like I remember one time I was vlogging and Jax was laughing, but I thought he was crying, and I said shh, like he stopped laughing, and that shit made me feel so bad, and I laid in the bed at night and I cried because I shushed my baby when he was laughing. So I think about the future, I think about their day, I think about, you know, I just want my baby to be happy, smiling, and if I can do anything to do that, I will. I don't want to take away from that. So that is what really keeps me from getting frustrated with him, because once I show my frustrations, then I'm not making him happy, I'm making him smile, I'm upsetting him, you know, because I'm upset. Why do we both have to be upset? I can just be upset and I can hide it and my baby can be okay. Because I know at the end of the day, he doesn't understand. You know, all he knows is he's a kid, he's a baby, he just wants to play and have fun. I don't feel like there's any reason why my baby should be unhappy ever. What are you feeding Jax eating habit preferences? Jax eat everything that we eat, but he is a picky eater. He will try everything, but if he don't like it, that thing is going on the floor. You said your coochie fell off. Update please. Does it get better? My coochie's permanently damaged, okay? I tore upwards. My labia dangles like a jingle bell. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell. That's the update. And it was supposed to get sewn back on, but I actually never let my midwife see my coochie before I gave birth. So she had never seen it. I never wanted to get checked. There was no reason for me to get checked. So I don't think she knew where it went. Maybe she thought it was like that. I don't know. I'm a first-time mom with a 7-week-old, and my fiance just joined the Navy and will be gone for 6 months. How did you manage with Jackson while Miles was away on deployment? Whoa, 7 weeks? Oh my goodness. To be honest with you, it's not that bad. Like, because you are the only person that's doing it and it has to get done, it's not that bad. Y'all get into y'all routine. Actually, when your fiance comes back, he will interrupt y'all's routine. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not bad. As long as you don't have nothing else to do, like work or YouTube or vlog or film or sponsorships, you're good. What's the best and worst thing about motherhood? The best thing about motherhood is seeing my baby smiling and happy and healthy and warm and cozy and just full of love. That's the best thing about motherhood. It's so rewarding. The worst thing about motherhood is the anxiety and the feeling of failure, because if something happened to your baby, it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all you, sis. Like, you raised him, you know what I'm saying? So whatever he come out to be, that's on you, boo. So that's literally like the worst thing. Am I doing a good job? The constant self-doubt is probably the worst. Oh, I miss you on screen, girl. How are you? People forget to ask mom, sis. I am doing so good, like so well. Y'all don't even know. I can't wait till y'all see what's been going on behind the scenes. What's the most unexpected thing you learned about having a toddler? That they are smart. And let me tell you something. They the pimp and we the hoes. They the boss. They the mom, we the kids. They have us so whipped, it doesn't make any sense. Like, the fact that my son goes to daycare and he sits still and eats his food, and when he comes home, he don't want to sit down and eat his food. Like, he knows how to do stuff, he just don't do it because he know he can get away with it with me and Miles. That is the craziest thing, how smart they are. I have been trying to teach Jax how to sign milk since he was like 6 months. Milk. Never signs milk. Just rolls in my shirt, grabs the tit, and gets on there. He had daycare signing milk. I'm like, wow, so you do know what it means. You just won't do it to me. You just come assault me. How do you juggle being a mom and still make sure you look and feel good? You have to demand those hours for yourself. Whatever you got to do. If you're a single mom, hire a babysitter. Drop the kids off at your mom's house. If you got a husband, here, babe, I need a break. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you have to do to refuel yourself, because kids take so much out of us. Our babies drain us to no end, and we don't feel it because we'll do anything for our kids. We feel it when we look back at ourselves and we have nothing left for ourselves. So do whatever it is you got to do to take care of yourself, because guess what? If that baby ain't okay, you ain't okay. What have you grown to appreciate that was a struggle for you at first? Listening to people. Listening. I'm gonna just say that. Like, nothing is more humbling than when you mess up a baby, okay? I know this is not funny, but I'm being serious. I don't know, like, I just kind of wish I wasn't so overprotective over my baby, because it, like, the people around him didn't want to hurt him. Sometimes they just didn't agree with the way I wanted to do my son. And I just felt like, I don't know what I felt like, but I don't know what I felt like. I've just grown to appreciate advice and people telling me like, oh, I've been there, I remember those days, or give me, like when Jax was just sick, our realtor actually told me, she was like, if he's not drinking fluids, just give him fluids through a syringe, 10 cc's at a time. And I really appreciate people caring about my baby and just wanting to, like, that shows that you care about, you know what I'm saying? That shows that you care. Who am I to like be like, I don't listen to you, you know what I mean? Like, I really have learned to appreciate advice, especially from older women. Not like old women, not like mature women. I'm talking about like people like my mom. I always listen to my mom, but like in that age group. New mom, and I struggle with my daughter cluster feeding. Any advice? She'll grow out of it. Cluster feeding is just like a phase. She'll grow out of it. I know your nipples are tired, pull, toe up. She'll grow out of it. It just comes in phase. It comes in like phases. If you haven't already downloaded like the Wonder Weeks app, you'll notice your baby goes through leaps. And so she'll have, like, when she's going through a leap, she'll probably be cluster feeding. So download the app so you can see where your baby is at, and then I'm telling you, that app will literally describe your baby's behaviors. I'm gonna be a first-time mom very soon. Any advice for a new mommy? I don't know, sis. Just enjoy your baby. Just inhale him, eat him, swallow him whole. Enjoy your baby. I don't have any advice. You'll have to make of it what you can make of it, you know? You'll have to figure that out, you know? I don't have any advice. Did you have a postpartum doula, or did you only have a doula for birth? So my doula did have a, like, I did see her one time after I did give birth to Jax, but I actually hadn't done any research on a postpartum doula. I probably could have used one though. How do you deal with tantrums? I'm currently going through the terrible 2 stage with mine. I just watch mine. And then I say, look at you, look at everybody looking at you, look at you, and he'll stop. Have you considered homeschooling? Pros, cons that help with the final decision. I considered it, but I just feel like the socialization weighs a little bit more. I can definitely always teach him more things, but I cannot teach him social skills with just me. I was raised very similar to how you're raising Jax, and now I'm extremely clingy and in therapy. How are your boobs in public? Like, do they leak at all? I want to breastfeed and go places. When I first had Jax, they did leak, and then they stopped leaking, and now I can just feel when he's hungry. It's weird. It feels like a microwave turned on in my boobs, and they go like woo, and then like I can feel when he's hungry or crying or hurt. It's weird, but it's not hard. It's actually easy to breastfeed in public because you don't have to warm up a bottle. You don't have to. You just bloop bloop bloop, and it takes. It's easy. It's done, and that's it. You ain't gotta worry about no milk spoiling because it's off the tap. Did you struggle with breastfeeding, deep latch, supply pumping? I didn't have any struggles. My baby was ready, okay? He was ready. What made you guys choose Montessori over traditional? We just like the general idea of Montessori. We like the whole, basically what Montessori is about, what it promotes. We love everything about Montessori. To us, it just made sense. If you guys don't know what Montessori is, I can give you guys a different video with an updated room tour for Jackson because he has a Montessori style room. So yeah, I don't want to get into that, but like we just really like the idea. That's kind of how we parent. Like the motto is like, help me do it by myself. And that is kind of how we're raising Jax, you know, like he can do everything by himself until he asks for help, and then when he asks for help, we'll help them, you know. But we let him go as far as he can by himself before we step in. Like as a parent, you don't realize how much stuff you do for your baby, and it kind of handicaps them a little bit because you'll put on their coat, you put on their socks, you put on their pants. It's like you go get everything for them, you know. It's like, okay, go get your cup, take off your pants, put on your shoes, you know, like teaching them life skills, but also developing fine motor skills and stuff like that, is we just really like the whole idea of it. Oh, what helped you accept your new mom bod? Because baby, I'm struggling and I hate it here. That is so hard. I really want you to give yourself time. Usually when people ask me this question, I'll be like, well, how old's your baby? 3 months. I'm like, girl, that baby was just inside of you for 10 months. Like, you have to give yourself longer than 3 months to go back to normal. Everything is not going to go back to normal so fast, so just be patient with yourself. You're going to have to wear different clothes. You're going to have to do your makeup different. It's just a lot of things that you're going to have to adjust to. But the fact that you're a new mom and you're already having to adjust with so much, because you already are having to adjust to so much, so you just literally chalk your body up as an L, you know what I'm saying? Get that to the game. My titties, gave that to the game, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to get those put back where they were. But don't be so down on yourself, babe. It's okay, like really. Nobody, just to help you, make you feel better, nobody's looking at you as hard as you're looking at you, you know? So I know you're probably really super insecure and things aren't fitting right, but you just gotta buy clothes to accommodate your new body, to help flatter your new body, and just give yourself some time to get back to normal. And take some cute pictures and learn some angles and some nudes, sis. Take some nudes, okay? That'll make you feel sexy, I ain't lying. How do you mentally balance being a wife, mother, and full-time YouTuber? I don't. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. No, it's hard. It is hard. It's hard to have time for my husband, time for my baby. To keep up with this, it is difficult. Life just always happens, and life always has first priority over this. So I just feel really bad sometimes, because I feel like y'all always get this shit into the stick, but y'all still love me so much. It's like so unconditional. So I really do fuck with y'all so hard because of that. But it's definitely mentally taxing. You just, at the end of the day, when you look at your to-do list or you think about your to-do list, you're like, okay, I didn't get this, and this done today. And this was due last week. And I needed to do this 2 days ago. And that toilet still needs to be clean. And this tub still needs to be clean. And we have Chick-fil-A again tonight. Just don't beat yourself up. Tomorrow's a new day. You got a whole another 24 hours. Do better tomorrow. That's what I always tell myself. Does sex stop after having a baby? How do you maintain the heat? It's definitely not as often as it used to be, because Jackson's a blocker. But when we do, it's like makes up for like the days that we didn't do it. And it's in like it's in the weirdest places, in the weirdest situations. So yeah, you just kind of like getting in where you can, and it's kind of sexy, because it's like, oh, be quiet, you know, shh, you know, that type of stuff. I like that type of stuff. I don't know about y'all, you know what I'm saying? When you're doing something you ain't got no business doing, you know what I'm saying, that, like, you know, help you out a little bit. Yeah, it's just, you know, you make up for lost time. Because if y'all haven't, like, because if me and Miles haven't had sex in, like, a couple of days, we'll just want each other so bad that when we do have it, it'll be, like, you know what I'm saying, great. Did you and Miles agree on things like breastfeeding and vaccinations? I would mostly do all the research, because I was just really proactive and stuff like that. I downloaded all the apps on Miles' phone. I made him sit down, watch documentaries. And of course, because I am a sane, level-headed person, and we are married and we kind of have like alike views, he would be on board. He wanted Jackson to be breastfed no matter what. That was his #1 thing. If you have my baby, you gonna breastfeed him. And I said, okay, I got you. And so yeah, me and Miles agreed on a lot of stuff after I just had to sit him down and talk him through it and talk him through my thought processes, because dads don't think like how moms do. Like, we think about like, oh my gosh, what if my baby go on this playground and he get on the monkey bars, but dads are like, oh, monkey bars, let's go swing. You got to talk them through like your mom, you know, anxiety brain. What is Jack's personality like so far? My baby is so goofy. He is so goofy. Like, he is gonna be just like me and Miles. Like, just play too much. He is just wanna play. He's adventurous. He's talkative. Jackson is just like a little fireball. Like, he acts like a mountain goat ferret cat. He's so curious. Like, he's so curious. He gets into literally like everything. Does it ever hit you like, damn, I'm a whole mom? Literally all the time. I look at my baby and I'm like, you are my baby. Oh my goodness, I made you? Wow. Every time, bro, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm a mama. That's wild. How did I get caught slipping? What keeps you sane when Jax is turned all the way up? Honestly, I just turn up with him. I just grit my teeth and I just turn up with him. If we turn up to Elmo, if we watching Little Baby Mom, I just get into whatever he's getting into. Whatever his obsession is at the moment, I just fixate on that and I turn it into a bonding experience. I am obsessed with buying my son clothes and really fashionably cute outfits. Are you? Yes. I am obsessed with dressing my son. Me and Miles feel like he's our little baby doll. I love dressing him. First of all, the clothes are so cute, like, cause they're little. And a lot of people will say, oh, he's just gonna grow out of it. Well, what am I supposed to put him in, sis? A trash bag, okay? If I'm wearing it and I'm wearing Yeezys and Miles is wearing Yeezys, and I just feel like my baby need to be wearing Yeezys because I feel like that goes. I don't care if he's gonna grow out of them. He's not gonna stop growing until he's 17 years old. So what am I supposed to do from now to 17? You mentioned having baby and puppy fever, either one coming soon. I had baby fever for a little while, but my mom just had my little brother, so my baby fever is kind of cured, but the puppy fever is not. The puppy fever is not. But honestly, after having a baby, animals kind of became gross to me. I know that sounds really weird, but like babies are so like, they pick up everything and like, you know, germs and stuff, and like little stuff like me wearing my shoes in his room. I stopped doing that. Like, we don't wear shoes in the house because the ground is nasty and you transfer that all over. You know, he eats off the floor, you drop something, puts it in his mouth, and you know, stuff like that. Pets kind of are like nasty to me a little bit, but so I don't know, we'll see. Ways you plan on disciplining without spanking? I don't think I could ever hit my son unless he was in immediate danger and he almost killed himself. That is, I don't think that I would be able to. I don't think Miles would be able to either. I think that we just kind of plan on talking to him, you know, like the, you know what I'm saying, people do, you know. I think that that's a little bit more effective than just beating your kid. It kind of reminds me of like slavery a little bit. I don't like it. How do you feel about your body overall after becoming a mommy? Things are different, a lot different, but I appreciate my body for the things that it can do. So although my teeth are, you know what I'm saying, look like they got some, I don't know what's going on. They not saggy, they just not up like they was before. But I appreciate them because they worked. You know, they served their purpose. My stomach has stretch marks, but it served its purpose. It has a little droop on it too, like a little, I don't know what to call that. You know what I'm saying? It served its purpose. Torn served its purpose. It's kind of like I can cancel out everything. But right now, the body that I got right now, when I am bloated and about to start my period, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I got a little booty, I got little hips, I got a little stomach, you know what I'm saying? But right after I come off, it's like everything just is gone. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I just had left. So being this skinny is still an adjustment, but it's hard to gain weight. I know it's not until a long time, but are you ready for teenage Jax? Yes. I am ready for teenage Jax because I got teenage Jax all figured out because I read his birth chart. Okay. Does your childhood play a part in your parenting style, or do you think it will? Absolutely. My parents were not bad parents at all. They just weren't good together. And that stress of them not being able to get their shit together, you know, affected kids and stuff like that. So one thing that me and Miles want to make sure is that we're always good, you know, because we don't want Jackson to fall victim of our BS. Miles' parents still together, girl. They are great. They don't fuss, they don't argue, you know what I'm saying? They have like the literal most suburban life. Miles grew up so textbook suburbs boy, literally. That's it. Miles, that's it. The honey, I'm home. That's Miles' childhood. Is being a mom as hard as everyone makes it seem? Does being young make it harder? Alright, I want you to be careful about who you take advice from about being a mom. Everybody doesn't want to be a mom, okay? And that's just real. Some people have like childhood traumas, you know, that they haven't dealt with, that kind of make them run from being a mom. Maybe their mom didn't love them, so they can't love their baby, you know, stuff that people haven't dealt with. So be careful about who you listen to about being a mom, because a lot of us, we can look at things in a different perspective, and Although yes, being a mom is challenging. I wouldn't say it's hard. It's challenging. It's a literal challenge. I challenge you to raise this baby. Okay. It's not hard. It's just as equally rewarding as it is challenging. I don't like when people make it seem like having a baby slows you down. I don't like it when people act like you can't go nowhere because you got a baby. I don't like that. I don't like when people that don't have kids do stuff like that. So I make it my mission to be like, look, I'm in Africa with my baby and you ain't even been to Africa and you ain't got no baby. That to me is like, it's not, I don't ever try to show like the struggles. You know what I mean? I always just try to show like the highlights because there's always going to be struggles. Always. I mean, you're raising a human being. There's no textbook on it. But no, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's crazy because you'll be like, what was my life before I had this baby? It's literally like one of the most fulfilling things I've ever experienced in my life. I love having a son. I love having a baby. I love him so much. I need him. I needed him. I never loved anybody like how I love Jackson, ever, ever, ever. Does being young make it harder? I think that it depends on how young. Some people let having a baby motivate them. Sometimes you don't have the resources to get yourself out of that jam when you do have kids young. I did have my baby quote unquote young. I was 23 when I had Jax, and that is young to a lot of people, yeah. But I was also married and we were extremely financially stable, and we had a house and 2 cars, and we just literally like everything was good for me, you know. So I guess it has to do with the circumstances. I went to high school with people that had kids and I didn't even know it because their mom took care of their baby, and it's like their mom was like, I'll take care of your baby so you can get your life together, you know. And I really do commend moms that do that. I would probably do the same for Jax, because just because you made a quote unquote mistake does not mean that you need to be paying for it for the rest of your life. Because when you're young, that stuff is gonna affect the stuff that you do now. It's gonna affect everything later. Yeah, sometimes people can't get out the mud and they get stuck. I don't say it's harder when you're young, but there's a lot less room for error when you're young, if that makes sense. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out, mamas. And people that's not mamas but just watching me because y'all love to hear me talk. Y'all the bomb. Y'all the best. I love y'all too.